I would
and still retain the benefits of big business. I'm not saying there are a lot of benefits of big business. I've always been a small business for the past 7-8 years anyways. But my point is that unfortunately the bulk of the nation's economy and the world economy is big business.
Yeah.
Or a large percentage.
Would you like to be smudged with sage smoke? I just kind of brush it like I did with myself.
One of the
It's just a purifying ritual. Smells pretty nice.
Smells good.
Yeah.
Katie is gonna freak when I get home. It looks like a fucking giant phone. Take pictures.
You can probably try that.
Well, you can smoke it, right? The question is, I think you can smoke anything that's natural, right? Oh, that's a nice flavor.
Yeah.
That's a very nice flavor. It's like a clove cigarette. But, I mean, how many people in your generation do you feel have given up on?
Not many. Most of my peers, I would say, are still counting on the system to provide them a job.
Yeah.
And that's what that's what blows me away, is that the way I totally understand what you're saying, well, the system, we're trying to support it because it's found employment for us. But what I'm saying is, it's now becoming our responsibility to create our own employment. I mean, we ourselves are alive, we have survival needs we need to meet.
That's right.
Why can't that be our employment? Meeting our survival needs.
Sure, and I think it's important that we have the diversity in the system, the people that will do that entrepreneurial spirit or that natural spirit, and you should nurture that, and you should follow that, and you should recruit it. But we also need the larger aspects of the system, because there are certain infrastructural pieces that if they come down, it'll just be complete mass panic.
Right.
I mean,
I totally understand what you're saying, and
so
I believe that
because
there's
we
going
need
to be
infrastructure.
mass money.
Well, okay, I'm not going to comment on that point, but because we need infrastructure, we should do, well, a certain percentage of the population should continue to support the system.
Yeah. Right. No, dude. Hey, you know what? Actually, the way you're putting it like that, I totally respect that. I have a tremendous amount of respect for. I don't have the faith to take that path myself because I feel insecure doing that. I worry about the stability of my own livelihood along that path. So I respect anyone that is willing to take that risk to try to stand under the system and hold it up like Atlas. You know?
Well, it's less of that and more understanding the different pieces. And there are certain things that I do that are in line with your perspective. So, for example, my background is more engineering.
Yeah.
So there are certain ways that I kind of am prepping myself so that I can support it. I ran my own business for a couple of years, and now I'm now part of a bigger business, but it's still small, like 40 people. And so my girlfriend is very much like yourself. She's into all natural foods, and she's starting her own little garden and raising her own vegetables and getting into that whole thing. And so we're doing that, but we're just the right way to word it.
Transition.
Yeah. Well, I think transitioning, but in parallel with maintaining hope that the system will work out its problems, or that the communities will work out their problems. But I think ultimately that maybe what I'm getting at is this: the balance is going to be community, as opposed to individual or state or federal. It's just going to have to scale back to community.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's where the balance is going to be: community food production, local food production, regional food production. Food production at a national scale, an international scale, is by definition garbage, right? So, and I think that model might apply to other areas, although I'm not that educated really. So, for example, one of the things I want to learn a little bit more about is energy production, macroeconomics and stuff. But I think at the end of the day, the balance is going to be community. You know what I mean? So not like 10 farmers, but 50 like-minded people like yourself. But the fact that you're taking that first step as a leader is that's ground zero. You have to have that, right? You have to have the first people that take that first step. But hopefully then, after a couple of years of your success, you continue to talk to your buddies and you recruit people and you do more of that, right? It's interesting because a lot of the stuff that you say is very much in line with certain biblical views. I'm not huge on that, but I know more about that than I do the Ayurvedic philosophies.
There's a lot of wisdom in all those things.
Well, that's the thing, right? They're just different sources of wisdom. And so I think that ultimately where we're going to find that balance is we can still have nation and state level things, but we've lost sight of the fact that a nation is nothing more than a huge collection of communities. We don't have that.
Right.
We have the nation being a huge collection of individuals that then are part of entities. And entities, by definition, are run by few and just get massively corrupt. I don't care which entity it is that you talk about, you'll find corruption. It's just the way it is. I think you can have communities, businesses that are small businesses that are communities. In fact, there's one example of this company. I think they did like robotics or something like that, but it was a complete collaborative. Everybody talked about everything and participated in all the decision making. And so I believe in communities, but I don't believe in entities like pyramid type structures where the value proposition, like you'll hear in corporate mission statements, provide shareholder value. Wrong. The value has to be to the customers and to the lowest level of employees. You know what I mean? You should view this plane, right, as where the value has to flow. Because if the value flows, to the top, to the shareholders and the owners predominantly, like that's your mission, shareholder value, that's up. So customer dollars and employee labor, all of that produces value that flows up. Okay, but that value has to be circulated through the system, right? So the way that you do that, I'm not a pro yet, I'm still thinking about this and studying this, right? But the way that you do that, good companies traditionally have done this, is you take the labor input, but then you flow back heavy amounts of education, training, community activities, team building activities. So when I had a small business, we would go hiking, sometimes once a week. Sometimes, once a month, but we'd try to do it once a week, in the warm weather, And, every once in a while we'd go up like Mount Monadnock and just fucking hike for a day, And then, they're all salaried guys, So you would create a system where you get some value flowing up, but you try to flow as much value back down as you can, right? And you create a circular system. Because all natural systems are completely circular, right? Trees grow, but then when they fall, they decompose and they provide value when they're dead back into the soil, which then